Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So look, this is actually a video request. Funny enough, I just posted a video about Russell Wilson, his future in Seattle, based off of a report that came out this morning by The Athletic. Really good read. I highly recommend it if you're interested in the whole Seahawks-Wilson marriage. But I want to say maybe 10 minutes after posting that video, I got two comments down below, two separate comments, saying, hey man, can you check out Mel Kiper's mock draft and react to it? We would like to see it. And I mean, I love video requests, so for sure I'm definitely gonna be doing this. So Jack from North Jersey and Kai Vaughn, this video is for you guys. Now, I have not checked out the mock draft yet. Typically I don't really like to follow the big mainstream mock drafts. Really the only two guys that I really respect, that I'm huge fans of, Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network and Bucky Brooks, also of the NFL Network. Both guys I feel like are really in tune with fan bases. They know what they're talking about. They're just on their game, right? They do mock drafts because they love them. Two awesome guys. I love their insight. So this one's Mel Kiper. I got the mock draft right here. Again, I haven't checked it out. It's the top 10 picks. So we're gonna dive in. We're gonna react to this thing live. The one thing I do want to bring up about Mel Kiper though is that I know he's a huge Darnold guy. He's always been a big Darnold guy. USC, even after all these years, he's still, Darnold's the guy. So it'll be interesting to see if he puts maybe a Zach Wilson at spot number 2 or Justin Fields, just like Bucky Brooks did with that second overall pick. So without further ado, let's hop right into this thing. Reaction to the top 10 picks. Already. Okay, not what I was expecting. There's actually trades in here, trades within the top 10, which isn't abnormal, like anything crazy. All right, well, let's go through it one by one. Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, A+ pick, fantastic, great mock selection here. It's probably going to happen. I want to say it's almost guaranteed that it will happen. So A+ with the first one. Number two, he has the Atlanta Falcons picking Zach Wilson, and the New York Jets trading down to spot number 4 and selecting Kyle Pitts. Now, if you're a Darnold guy, right? If you love Sam Darnold, this is absolutely incredible, right? Because you're trading down, which means you're acquiring something. You're trading down from the second pick. So that means you're probably going to be getting something nice in return. You're only going from 2 to 4, and you're selecting Kyle Pitts, who, in my opinion, is the best player in this draft outside of Trevor Lawrence. I've kind of had that mindset since middle of the season, actually. Huge Kyle Pitts guy. I've watched every single snap of him at Florida this past season. The dude is an absolute playmaker, mismatch nightmare. So, and plus, you're taking a look at the tight end position for the Jets. It's who's the tight end? Ryan Griffin, Chris Herndon? Are we really going to be counting on those guys for next season? Absolutely not. You look at this offense, you need an athletic tight end. Look at George Kittle in San Francisco. Look at Higbee in LA. Look at Everett in LA. You need that pass catching threat at the tight end position. The Jets don't have that. Okay, so Kyle Pitts would come in, fill that void. He also can line up at wide receiver. In my opinion, he's also one of the top wide receivers in this class as well, as crazy as that sounds. So we'd be trading down from 2 to 4. I'm assuming we would get an asset in return, a solid asset, and Kyle Pitts. So the expectation, and by the way, there's no sort of clarification on Deshaun Watson, so I'm just assuming here that he's talking about Sam Darnold will be the future in New York. So it'll be Darnold and Kyle Pitts. We'll see. If you're not a Darnold guy, this would probably irritate you. Now, it's great that we're getting something back in return, and it's great that we're adding a dynamic, in my opinion, the best offensive player, again, outside of Lawrence in this draft class, to this Jets offense. That's excellent. But do we really trust Sam Darnold to, have another crack at it? Third head coach, hasn't really made it work with his first two. There's been a lot of issues with Sam Darnold. Now, granted, he hasn't had the best supporting cast. We all understand that. Never really had that true number 1 wide receiver. Never really had the great coaching staff. Never really had a good interior offensive line play as well, or a solid running game. But Darnold struggled with turnovers, consistency, staying on the field, mechanics, everything, holding on to the football too long, boneheaded plays, making rookie mistakes in year 3. Me personally, I'm out on Sam Darnold. I'm out on Darnold as far as him being a New York Jet. I think he can possibly succeed elsewhere, like Washington, maybe Carolina, maybe the Saints, maybe San Francisco, who knows. But all I know is that for me personally, I want the Jets to move on to a Zach Wilson. That's my preferred my preferred choice with that second overall pick. Now, if we land Deshaun Watson, fantastic. If we land Russell Wilson, fantastic. But my preferred choice, as we stand right now, as realistic as possible, I'm selecting Zach Wilson with the second overall pick. But I guess Kiper disagrees. So Jacksonville goes Trevor Lawrence, love it. Atlanta with Zach Wilson, and another thing too with Atlanta. I mean, you hired Arthur Smith to come in the building to turn this thing around. Atlanta has so many pieces on offense. You already you have Julio Jones, Calvin they're loaded on offense, and they have some playmakers on defense like Dante Fowler and Grady Jarrett and whatnot. Like, this team isn't like a 2-win team or anything like that. Like, I feel like Atlanta's problem is just stumbling. They just get in their own way all the time. Every single game they blow leads. Consistently. I don't know what it is about the franchise, but they're always just coming up short or failing, or it's almost like people say like Matty Ice, but it's almost like the opposite. Like he's prone to choke. It's crazy. So I understand wanting to move on from Matt Ryan here, but to give up an asset to go up to spot number 2 when you probably will have Justin Fields on the board, Trey Lance on the board at spot number 4. I mean, are you going to trade Matt Ryan to another team? I don't know. I don't know how I'd like the fit with Atlanta and with Zach Wilson in Atlanta. I don't really know. If he's there at 4, I would definitely take him. But to trade up to go get him, I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about that. I'll give it a C, I guess. Next up, Miami at spot number 3, Devonta Smith. Okay, it's good. It's good. Let me take the jet cap off. It's a pretty solid pick. All right, Devonta Smith is not my favorite wide receiver in this class. It's actually Jamar Chase. But you're looking at the Tua connection. Devonta Smith coming off an incredible season, electrifying playmaker, can separate, incredible hands, really good footwork as well. Good fit in the offense, or good fit in the Chan Gailey offense, I should say. But you're pairing Tua up with Heisman Trophy winning Devonta Smith, ex-teammate. So you have that potential connection. You have that chemistry. The Miami Dolphins currently have a great defense, great special teams unit. They don't really have that playmaking weapon on the offense side of the ball. I like Parker, but he's not elite. All right, Devonta Smith has the potential to be elite. There's questions about his size and whatnot, but all in all, it would be a solid pick. I think if Miami goes wide receiver, I think I would opt for Jamar Chase, to be honest with you. And there was also a recent thing that came out where I believe it was Devonta Smith. I could be wrong. I think it was Devonta Smith came out and he said Mac Jones, like Mac Jones was the better quarterback compared to Tua. I think that was just like some sort of hardball question that he was asked, but something to keep your eye on. But Devonta Smith to Dolphins, I like it. I'd probably give it a B, right? A B pick, above average. You're upgrading at a position of need. Solid draft pick here. Number 4, we already talked about it, Kyle Pitts. In this scenario, sticking with Sam Darnold, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but Kyle Pitts as a potential fit for the New York Jets, I'm giving that an A+, right? When you're just looking at player for the offense, he's my favorite player in the draft. Again, second best player in the draft, in my opinion. Position of need, checks so many different boxes. Kyle Pitts to the Jets, A+ in this situation. 5th pick is Penei Sewell, left tackle from Oregon. Great pick here. This is the obvious one. Everybody kind of expects this to happen if he gets past Miami at spot number 3, because Miami could go Sewell. We'll see. Daniel Jeremiah, another guy that we talked about before. I know he's pretty high on Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern. Actually has him as his number 1 tackle. So it's interesting to see that Sewell's still the number 1 tackle in in other mainstream mock draft kind of guys' minds. Sewell's still the number 1 tackle in my book too. So A+ for the Bengals. Pick number 6, the Philadelphia Eagles. This is actually super interesting. They're going Jamar Chase, and that's an excellent pick. I actually mocked Jamar Chase going to the Eagles as well. You're getting the number 1 wide receiver in the class. You're releasing Alshon Jeffrey. You have questions about quarterback, new coach coming in, safe player, productive player, high upside. Jamar Chase, great pick. But do they want to build around Jalen Hurts? That's the question. Assuming they don't land Deshaun Watson or Wilson or Darnold or whoever it may be, the question now turns to, okay, this new coaching staff, do you want to go with Jalen Hurts or, in this situation, Trey Lance or Justin Fields? That's a question that Philly's going to have to ask themselves, again, if it plays out like this. But you can't go wrong with Jamar Chase. I really love the pick. Next up, San Francisco trading up with the Detroit Lions for Justin Fields. I actually like Justin Fields, I feel like, a lot more than many people do. Accurate, arm strength, mobility, leadership, toughness, big-bodied guy. There's issues about him, or there's concerns about him going through his reads, but I feel like at the end of the day, Justin Fields is a first-round quarterback prospect. He's a top 10 quarterback prospect. I've seen him fall like to the Pats in like the middle of the first round, but I don't see that happening. I feel like with the demand of quarterbacks being so high in today's game, Justin Fields will go top 10, and in this scenario, he has San Francisco trading up. Finally, they have a long-term option at the position. Jimmy Garoppolo is good. Like, he has a quick release. He's a good leader, but he's so immobile. He's just like a statue back there at post ACL tear. I mean, I really don't know. Jimmy Garoppolo, like, are you really going to invest in Jimmy Garoppolo? For me, probably not. But this is good too, because now Jimmy can start maybe a year, half the season, whatever. If he gets hurt, which he's shown the ability, or he's shown that in the past that he does get hurt a lot. Now you have Justin Fields on the bench who can slide in week 9, week 10, after whatever, so many weeks on the bench, preseason. It would be pretty good. I also think he's a solid fit for what Kyle Shanahan wants to do on offense. Really accurate quarterback, pinpoint passer. Solid pick. I would give it a B+. Actually, no, A-, because you're getting a quarterback with a high upside. A-. Next, Carolina, Mac Jones. Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. I get that Mac Jones has received a ton of hype over the last couple of days with the Devonta Smith comment, obviously coming off a fantastic season, stats, size, quick release, accurate, good footwork, good mechanics, but we have to take into consideration that he's not mobile. I could see the Panthers doing that. By the way, there was also a report that came out saying that Mac Jones' floor was spot number 8, so kind of ironic that he's here at spot number 8, but or getting picked here at 8, with the 8th pick. But overall, I'd probably give this a C. I'm not the biggest Mac Jones guy. I like him. I think he'll be a first rounder. Again, demand on quarterbacks is high. But with the 8th overall pick, man, like, if Carolina doesn't have any weapons, do you trust Mac Jones to carry the weight of the franchise like Russell Wilson in Seattle, like Deshaun Watson in Houston, like Tom Brady? And I mean, there's a lot of cases. Andrew Luck with Indy, like, where the quarterback has to put the team on his back. Aaron Rodgers has pretty much been Rodgers forever now. Does Mac Jones give you that? I don't know. I think Mac Jones would be a great fit for like Tampa or New Orleans, a team that already has like a lot of things figured out, even Atlanta. And just the lack of mobility kind of scares me. So Carolina going Mac Jones, I'm going to give this one like a C- to a D+. Not the biggest fan of it. Another trade here, spot number 9, it's New England trading up with the Denver Broncos for Trey Lance. Excellent pick for the Patriots here. High upside guy, mobile, athletic, really good arm, hard to bring down, downhill runner, reminds me so much of Colin Kaepernick. I don't know why people aren't comparing him to Kaepernick, but he's almost like a carbon copy. The guy just runs aggressively. He's really good, but there are some question marks. Strength of schedule, barely played that much football. Obviously, the statistics are there. He hasn't really turned the football over. Literally didn't turn the football over in 2019. I think it was like 45 or 47 touchdowns to 0 interceptions, and that's including passing touchdowns and rushing touchdowns. So Trey Lance to the Pats, I love it. They don't have that long-term option on the roster as well. And then Dallas at spot number 10, they're going Patrick Surtain. I love the position, but with Dan Quinn coming in the building, he's going to be running the cover 3 zone system, right? Seattle, Atlanta. I think Caleb Farley makes a lot more sense with this 10th overall pick, comparing him to Surtain. Now, Surtain wouldn't necessarily be a bad pick, so I'll give it a C+, but I think Farley makes the more sense from a systematic fit. So I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you like the top 10 picks of the Kiper 2.0? I really like some picks, right? Sewell, Lance in New England, Jamar Chase, Trevor Lawrence, obviously, but then there were some questionable picks like the Jets hanging on to Sam Darnold, Mac Jones at 8. I don't know, kind of up in the air. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I appreciate you guys watching. Also, let me know if you guys want to see more video requests like this, because I really love doing this kind of thing. So thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.